Hey guys, I was going to try to explain a little bit of the thinking behind this and the thinking behind the Common Core math. Common Core math is not all terrible. It looks really confusing, and if you're over 20, it's probably stuff that you have never seen before because, like me, you probably learned math by solving algorithms. Your teacher stood up there, showed you exactly how to solve the problem, and you got the correct answer. So, great, you got the right answer. But when you try to apply it to real life situations, you don't really understand the problem. You just understood the algorithm. You didn't really understand what you were doing. Like when you multiply fractions and you do the cross thing and you just multiply this one by this one and it gives you an answer and you put it for the denominator, and then you multiply these two numbers and you put it for the numerator, and great, you get the right answer. But what you don't really understand is why you did all that, except for the fact that that was how the teacher showed it to you and that was what was expected and that was what you had to do for the test. So great, pass the test. But now if you tried to apply that in real life, if you ever need to multiply fractions, you don't really understand the reasoning behind it. And so Common Core Math is trying to give kids the understanding behind the numbers and make numbers not these set items, that numbers are kind of flexible, that you can manipulate them and use them in different ways to meet your needs. So if you have the number 46, that you can say that 46 is the same as 42 and 4 more. So if you had to have 46 plates for a big dinner party and there's 42 in this box, you can know that you just need 4 more. You don't need to sit there and paper pencil write it out and solve the actual algorithm. You can do that in your head. Now that was an easy problem for us, but for a second grade student, that problem takes a lot of mental ability and reasoning. So we're trying to teach them lots of different strategies to use to solve lots of different problems. So not every strategy is going to be good for every problem. And personally, I would not, in my brain, be able to solve this problem with this strategy. But we have to teach each strategy and show how each strategy works in order for you to be able to pick the strategy that's best fit for the problem and best fit for you. So this problem is basically find 13 minus 8. So they have two 10 strings over here, and they already have the 8 on the 10 string. And they're using 10 as a base number. That's kind of the premise of this whole problem, is using 10 as a number that's easy to use. And 10, 100, 1,000, all of those are easy numbers to use. So they want you to make 10 basically. So they're saying if you already have 8 right here and you add 2 more, that's going to give us 10. And 10 is an easy number to work with. So the answer for right here is going to be 8 plus, and kids are taught in kindergarten how to compose and decompose numbers to get to 10 really easily. So they should have worked a lot with tens and making 10. If you have 8, you add 2 more. If you have 5 and 5, or 4 and 6. So they should have a pretty good understanding of the number 10 coming from kindergarten. So kids should be able to easily solve 8 plus 2 more is going to give me 10. So if I can get to 10, then I just need to go 3 more to get to the 13. And so that kind of is better shown on a number line, where if you start at 8 and you want to get to 10, that's 2 spaces basically. And then we know, because 10 is kind of an easy number to work with, that 13 from 10 is going to be 3 spaces. So this is a different strategy, using the open number line to solve the same problem, but basically it's using 10 as the benchmark number as well. So then when you have 8 plus 2 equals 10, then you know that 10 plus the 3 more is going to give you the 13. So if you have 10 plus 3 that equals 13 and 8 plus 2 that equals 10, then 13 minus 8 is going to be these two numbers added together. So that's going to give us the 5. Now there's a couple of different strategies that might be easy to use to solve this problem. And one is going to be to count on. And that's kind of what we've done here on the open number line. We started at 8 and we went to 13. So we counted on 2 to get to 10 and 3 to get to 13. Some kids are going to want to count on every number, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and count up 5 spaces. And that's okay too. That's definitely a way to get to 13. And they still have the same answer. The answer is correct right here. The answer is correct by doing it this way. And it's also correct by doing this method. Now, you have to teach every single strategy so that when they encounter a problem, they can use what strategy works best for them and what strategy works best for this problem. So I'm going to show you how that might look. So given the problem, 13 minus 8, they might decompose the numbers. And so we're going to do this one using 10 as a benchmark because that's what they were encouraging them to do with the original problem. So it might look like, I don't always write it out as equations because I find it takes a little bit too long to do. But basically the same thing is saying 13 is 10 and 3. So now I can say that 10 and 3, so I can take my 8 from my 10 because that's pretty easy to do. So the 10 minus the 8, so I'm going to take the 8 down here, and that's going to give me the 2. So then I have a 3 left and a 2 left, and since I've already taken away that whole 8, I'm done. So a 3 and a 2 is going to be 5. Another way they might do it is to decompose both numbers. So they may say that 13 is 10 and 3, and 8 is 3 and 5. So I'm going to take my 3 away right here from the 13. So I'm going to use this 3 from the 8 to take away the 3 from the 13, and that leaves me with a 10 minus the 5. So now I need to take the 5 away, and kids with a good understanding of 10 are going to immediately know that 10 is 5 and 5. So they can decompose 10 to 5 and 5 and take away the 5 over here. So taking away the 5 from the 8, from this 5 from the 10, and that's going to leave me with 5 and then nothing over here. So I'm done. So my answer is 5. So I've decomposed these numbers in 2 different ways, but still end up with the same answer. Same way using the tens frames down here. They've just shown a different way to take 8 from 13 by using 10 as a reference number. So it's not that we expect the kids to do every single problem this way. This is just one way to solve a problem. But in first grade, it's really important to teach all of the different strategies so that when they get to second, third, fourth, fifth algebra, that they can use these strategies in order to solve problems quickly, because research shows that you're only capable of doing a small number of steps to solve a math equation correctly. So if you get hung up on a step like 13 minus 8 easily, and you're having to write out the algorithm or draw 13 circles and mark out 8, then your brain is using up a lot of its ability to solve that problem on the simple part of the problem, when in an algebra equation there's much more to solve than just a simple 13 minus 8. So I hope this helped explain a little bit. There's lots and lots of different strategies. Using the tens frames or using manipulatives, just things to move around, is one. Using a number line, an open number line where all the numbers aren't on there is one way, or a number line where all the numbers are represented is another way. Decomposing the numbers, chunking it is another word for it, is another easy way. And I know that this looks so confusing, but I guarantee you break out something like this and your 6-year-old can do it if they've practiced it at school. So, we want to give them as many tools as we can to solve each problem. Students don't all think the same way, and their brains don't all work exactly the same way. And so one student may see it this way and be able to solve it easily in their head mentally and get the answer of a 5, where someone else may visualize this in their head and be able to get this as the answer. And both students are correct. They've just come to the correct answer in a different way, and that's okay. We want to give them as many different ways to solve a problem in order for them to be able to use whatever way works best for them in the long run. So I hope this has helped. Math is really fun, and it looks really confusing when it's just written on a worksheet and you don't really understand it because it's not how we were taught. We were taught, this was the algorithm. Here's how you solve it. Now repeat. So this is just helping our children get a better understanding of the numbers and being able to manipulate them easier in order to solve the problem. So I hope this helped. Good luck with math. Don't worry, don't stress. Y'all are rocking it as moms. Just the fact that you're worried about your kids' homework means that you're a rock star mama already, because some mamas just don't care. So thumbs up for helping your kids with their homework, and I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please just ask. I don't mind at all.